Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. It is Sunday, June 4th. And while searching for stories that I was wanting to write on and looking at thumbnails and things, I came across a San Diego chain, fast food chain. Well, it's throughout the Golden State. I've not heard of it up in the Bay Area. It's called The Melt. And for June, for Pride Month, they have their Harvey Milk Shake that they brought back. And they bring it back every year. And it'll be available all June. It's a vanilla milkshake with rainbow sprinkles on the top. I love it. And it's just like, okay, let's do a channeled reading for Harvey Milk. He was a San Francisco politician, I believe the mayor of San Francisco, and he was murdered, I believe, in the late 70s, early 80s by Dan White. Now, I was a preteen or a teenager, early teenager when this happened. And I'm very familiar with the news cycle on that one. I didn't know too much about it other than when it came time for Dan White to go to trial, they came up with the Twinkie defense, which was basically he ate some fast food, had a sugar high, and then went on a murderous rampage because who among us hasn't eaten a Twinkie or two and then just wanted to assassinate political officials? Perfectly reasonable. And he got like involuntary manslaughter for that. It was an outrage in the gay community, an outrage for justice. Now, Dan White was released but had a hard time coping with society, and he ended up committing suicide later on. He didn't live much longer after prison. But Harvey Milk, what message do you have for us in these during Pride Month 2023? A message in general. What are we with stuff we're facing? What would you like us to know? Let's bring it on down. See what we got. Entertainment purposes only. Celebrate, everyone around the world. We're bringing it full circle here, and homosexuality. It's not a California thing. It's not a Bay Area thing. It's a worldwide thing, and Pride isn't about just celebrating homosexuality. It's a worldwide celebration. It's celebrating all of humanity. Crossed with the death card. The gay community went through a lot in the late 70s and early 80s. Not that they weren't dealing with a lot before, but they went through a lot between assassinations and then HIV coming on the scene. In 1982 through 1983, I was dating a girl, and her mother was dating a police officer who worked in San Francisco. And I remember quite vividly, this would have been early 1983, him coming over and talking about something that was killing the gays in San Francisco. I don't know when AIDS was, and that retrovirus was first brought out, but I heard about it months before anybody else did because the police and the emergency workers knew about it. They knew there was something going on. They just didn't have the information. But, the gay community has been through a lot, but it's bringing an end. Gay pride brings to an end the prejudice against homosexuality because it's bringing homosexuality out into the open, which allows for acceptance, and it kills off the ignorance because now everybody knows a gay person, and it's a whole lot easier to support the LGBTQ community when you know somebody in it, because now it's personal as opposed to some concept of, well, gay people. Yeah, until you know one, and then you realize that maybe just lumping these people, lumping gay people or LGBTQ people into an other category isn't the thing to do. It's a terrible thing to do. Okay, so agreements coming together, relationships, the relationships that the gay community has had amongst other members of the gay community, as well as the straight community. The Castro was a pit before the gay community moved in, and they cleaned it up. Now, my father was not a huge supporter of the gay community, but he and his friends absolutely understood what the gay community did with the Castro and were impressed with something like that. They truly had a community, and they truly cared about their community. The Castro is a beautiful place to visit. If you ever do come to San Francisco, put it on your list of things to do. It's a party. But no, this is about people coming together, both gay and straight, to come together and come in unity, because together we're stronger than separate. Current situation is Knight of Swords. Things are changing quickly. Rights are being taken away. Attacks are being made against the gay community. But at the same time, the gay community is empowered, and the gay community's allies are empowered, and we're not going to let this go unchallenged. Not only are we not going to let it go unchallenged, we're not going to lose. Oh, hell no. Current situations of the moon. There's forces that we don't understand that are working against the gay community. They're not out. They're working behind the scenes, but we can see what they're trying to do. The anti-drag laws, the othering of the LGBTQ community, and just trying to other segments of it. It's again, it's a step towards fascism. It's taking the MAGA faithful and giving them somebody to punch down on, somebody to hate, somebody to other, so that not so much that they feel better about themselves, they're just happy somebody's suffering as much as they are, if not more. Just a crappy way of handling oneself. But also, the gay community was a bit of a mystery to a lot of people. But as it becomes more normalized, as more corporations come out, as Pride with Pride Month and more information comes out, the mystery of homosexuality is removed. And what ends up happening is people find out they're no different than anybody else. They want all the same things. They're not indoctrinating our youth or all that stuff that the fearmongers throw out there. They're just people wanting to live their lives, be treated with respect, and to be loved and respected for who they are. Lesson to be learned: changes are coming. Changes are coming quickly, which is probably why certain factions are fighting against it, because the change is too fast for them. They can't handle it. And so they have to push back any way they can. But it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And, in the end of the day, the gay community's got the upper hand because they're organized. They're used to fighting. And they're used to the struggle, and they're used to winning. They know how to persevere. And now they have allies who support them and want them to win in this fight. And they will back them up. It's not alone. But I have to say, he feels heartbroken with the current situation that's going on in the U.S. You start thinking you're starting to move past this, and now we're going 2 steps backwards. But that's a temporary thing, because the change is happening so fast that just certain folks in our community can't handle it. But most can. And most young people have no issue with it whatsoever, which means in the end of the day, we win. The folks that can't handle it, they basically die off. And the folks that support them, they proliferate. So, persevere. Fight on, my brothers and sisters. You're doing God's work. You're doing the right thing. And we're here to support you. Happy Gay Pride Month. And I wish everyone a great June. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.